When we begin our morning with prayer, we are making one of the most powerful decisions of our entire day. Before the noise of the world rushes in, before responsibilities demand our attention, and before challenges test our patience, we choose connection over confusion, peace over pressure, and faith over fear. In Psalm 67, the prayer opens with a simple but profound request. May God be gracious to us and bless us, and make his face shine upon us. That verse is not just a religious statement. It is a declaration of dependence, humility, and expectation. It teaches us that success does not begin with our schedule. It begins with surrender. It reminds us that the true foundation of a productive life is not ambition alone, but alignment with God. Starting the day with divine connection changes our mindset. When you pray in the morning, you are not merely speaking words into the air. You are positioning your heart. You are saying, God, lead my thoughts, guide my decisions, order my steps. And that positioning matters. Many people start their day reacting to emails, reacting to social media, reacting to problems. But when you begin with prayer, you start your day responding instead of reacting. You respond with wisdom instead of emotion. You respond with patience instead of frustration. You respond with faith instead of anxiety. That shift alone can transform the atmosphere of your entire day. There is something powerful about inviting God into the first moments of your morning. It demonstrates priority. What we do first reveals what we value most. If the first voice we listen to is the voice of doubt, we will walk in insecurity. If the first voice we listen to is the voice of pressure, we will walk in stress. But if the first voice we listen to is the voice of God, we walk in assurance. Prayer centers us. It reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles, not abandoned in our responsibilities, and not unsupported in our dreams. It anchors us before the winds of distraction try to pull us away. Morning prayer also strengthens discipline. Motivation is powerful, but discipline sustains us when motivation fades. Choosing to pray when you feel tired, busy, or distracted builds spiritual consistency. It trains your mind to seek clarity before activity. It teaches you that preparation is more important than impulse. In education, in career, and in personal growth, preparation always precedes performance. Athletes warm up before competition. Students study before exams. Leaders plan before execution. In the same way, prayer is spiritual preparation. It is warming up your spirit before you face the world. When you begin with prayer, you invite peace into your day. And peace is not the absence of problems, it is the presence of confidence in the middle of problems. Life will still present challenges. Deadlines will still exist. People may still disappoint you. But prayer equips you with stability. It gives you the assurance that whatever you face, you do not face it alone. That assurance produces courage. Courage to speak when you would normally remain silent. Courage to try when you would normally hesitate. Courage to believe when circumstances look uncertain. Morning prayer also reshapes your perspective. Often, stress is not just about the size of the problem, it is about the size of our focus. When we focus only on obstacles, they appear overwhelming. But when we focus on God's greatness, obstacles shrink in comparison. Prayer lifts our eyes from limitation to possibility. It reminds us that favor can open doors that effort alone cannot unlock. It reminds us that wisdom can solve problems that strength alone cannot overcome. It reminds us that grace can carry us where our own ability feels insufficient. There is educational value in this practice as well. Students who cultivate quiet moments of reflection before engaging in their studies often experience increased clarity and concentration. Professionals who take time to align their goals with purpose often demonstrate stronger leadership and ethical decision-making. Prayer nurtures mindfulness, gratitude, and intentional living. It trains the mind to slow down and evaluate. Instead of rushing blindly into tasks, you move thoughtfully and strategically. That habit improves not only spiritual life, but also academic and professional performance. Starting the day with God builds resilience. Resilience is the ability to recover quickly from setbacks. When your confidence is rooted only in your own strength, failure can feel devastating. But when your confidence is rooted in God's presence, failure becomes a lesson rather than a definition. You understand that a setback is temporary, not final. Prayer reinforces identity. It reminds you that your worth is not determined by yesterday's mistake or today's challenge. You are valued, guided, and strengthened by something greater than your circumstances. Furthermore, morning prayer cultivates gratitude. Before asking for anything, you begin to appreciate what you already have: life, breath, opportunity, another chance. Gratitude shifts your emotional climate. Instead of starting your day complaining about what is missing, you begin celebrating what is present. That shift fuels positivity. And positivity is contagious. When you carry a grateful spirit into your home, workplace, or classroom, you influence the atmosphere around you. Your calm becomes stability for others. Your hope becomes encouragement for someone struggling silently. Another powerful dimension of starting your day with prayer is clarity of purpose. Many people are busy but not productive because they lack direction. Prayer creates space to reflect on priorities. It allows you to ask, what truly matters today? What aligns with my calling? What requires my energy? With that clarity, you avoid wasting time on distractions. You focus on what moves you forward. You operate intentionally rather than randomly. Finally, beginning your morning with divine connection builds confidence. Not arrogance, but assurance. The quiet confidence that says, I am prepared. I am guided. I am covered. That confidence transforms how you walk into rooms, how you approach conversations, and how you handle pressure. It is not loud, but it is steady. It is not boastful, but it is bold. It is the confidence that comes from knowing you have sought wisdom before action. As you embrace each new morning, remember that the first few moments are sacred. They set the tone for everything that follows. Choose to begin not with worry, but with worship. Not with fear, but with faith. Not with distraction, but with devotion. Let your morning prayer become your daily foundation. And as you consistently start your day with God, you will discover that strength rises, clarity increases, peace deepens, and favor follows. Your mornings will no longer feel rushed and reactive. They will feel intentional and empowered. And from that place of connection, you can step into every opportunity with courage, purpose, and unwavering hope. God's favor changes everything. When Psalm 67 declares, "May God be gracious to us and bless us, and make his face shine upon us," it reveals a truth that is both spiritual and practical. Favor is the difference between striving alone and being supported by divine grace. Favor is not something we manufacture through charm, nor is it something we manipulate through effort alone. It is the invisible advantage that rests upon a life aligned with God. It is when opportunities open at the right time, when the right people enter your path, and when doors that seemed locked begin to move in your direction. Hard work is necessary, preparation is important, but favor accelerates what effort begins. Many people misunderstand favor as luck. Luck is random. Favor is intentional. Luck has no relationship. Favor flows from connection. When you seek God sincerely and position your life according to His principles, you are not chasing blessings, you are aligning yourself with them. Favor does not mean you will never face obstacles. It means obstacles will not have the final word. It does not mean you will not experience rejection. It means rejection will redirect you rather than destroy you. Sometimes God's favor is seen in what didn't happen. The job you didn't get may have protected you from an unhealthy environment. The opportunity that closed may have preserved you for something greater. Favor works beyond what you can immediately see. Divine favor also builds confidence. When you know that God's grace is upon your life, you walk differently. You apply for positions others are afraid to pursue. You start projects others hesitate to begin. You speak with boldness because you believe you are supported by something greater than your own strength. This confidence is not arrogance. It is assurance. Arrogance says, I can do this by myself. Favor says, with God's help, I can do all things. That mindset shifts how you handle challenges. Instead of shrinking back when difficulties arise, you step forward with faith. Favor often shows up in preparation meeting opportunity. Education plays a powerful role in this process. God's favor does not replace discipline, it enhances it. When you study diligently, develop your skills, and commit to growth, you create capacity. Favor then fills that capacity. Think of it this way: preparation builds the container, and favor fills it with increase. A student who prays for success but refuses to study misunderstands the partnership between faith and responsibility. Favor flows where there is readiness. When grace meets preparation, results multiply. There is also a relational dimension to favor. When God's face shines upon you, it influences how others perceive you. You may find mentors willing to guide you, leaders willing to trust you, and peers willing to support you. This does not mean everyone will approve of you. It means the right people will recognize what God has placed within you. Favor positions you in rooms where your gifts can be seen and your voice can be heard. It aligns you with people who sharpen your vision instead of shrinking your confidence. At times, favor works quietly. It may not always appear dramatic or extraordinary. Sometimes it looks like strength during a season of pressure. Sometimes it looks like peace while others are overwhelmed. Sometimes it looks like resilience after disappointment. Favor sustains you. It keeps your spirit steady when circumstances fluctuate. In moments when you feel underqualified or uncertain, grace steps in and strengthens you from within. You begin to accomplish tasks you once thought were beyond your ability. You grow into responsibilities that once intimidated you. That is the quiet power of God's gracious hand upon your life. Favor also teaches humility. When you recognize that your progress is not solely the result of your own brilliance, you remain grounded. Gratitude replaces pride. You become more compassionate toward others because you understand that everyone needs grace. Instead of competing destructively, you collaborate generously. Instead of boasting in success, you testify of God's goodness. Humility preserves favor. Pride can close the very doors that grace opened. When you stay thankful, you stay aligned. Another important truth is that favor requires faith. You must believe that God desires to bless you. Some people struggle with feelings of unworthiness. They believe blessings are reserved for others. But Psalm 67 is a communal prayer. May God be gracious to us. It reminds us that God's heart is generous. He delights in blessing His people so that His goodness can be displayed through their lives. When you pray for favor, you are not asking selfishly, you are asking for empowerment to fulfill purpose. Favor is not about personal elevation alone. It is about impact. When you rise, you are positioned to lift others. There will be seasons when favor feels hidden. Prayers may seem unanswered. Progress may appear slow. During those moments, trust that grace is still working behind the scenes. Seeds grow underground before they break through the surface. Just because you cannot see movement does not mean nothing is happening. Favor is not always immediate, but it is always intentional. God's timing may differ from yours, but His wisdom exceeds yours. Patience becomes part of the process. Walking in favor also requires obedience. When God directs you to move, move. When He instructs you to wait, wait. Alignment sustains blessing. If you step outside of integrity, you step outside of protection. Favor thrives where character is strong. Education, talent, and ambition are powerful, but character is foundational. The combination of integrity and grace creates lasting success. Temporary achievements gained without alignment will not endure. But what God builds through favor stands firm. As you embrace this truth, begin each day expecting grace to accompany you. Expect wisdom in your conversations. Expect clarity in your decisions. Expect strength in your assignments. Not because you are perfect, but because God is gracious. Speak with confidence. Act with diligence. Prepare with excellence. Pray with expectation. Let your faith shape your mindset, and your mindset shape your actions. When God's favor rests upon you, ordinary efforts produce extraordinary outcomes. Doors open, ideas flourish, relationships strengthen. Even setbacks refine you rather than define you. Remember that favor is both a gift and a responsibility. Receive it with gratitude. Steward it with humility. Use it to uplift others. And as you walk each day believing that God's face shines upon you, you will discover that grace truly changes everything, turning limitations into opportunities and possibilities into reality. In Psalm 67, there is a powerful truth woven into its prayer. God blesses His people so that His ways may be known on earth and His salvation among all nations. This reveals something life-changing about blessings. They are not meant to stop with us. We are blessed to be a blessing. When God pours favor, grace, wisdom, and opportunity into your life, it is never for personal elevation alone, it is for generational and communal impact. The blessing on your life carries a purpose bigger than your comfort. It carries influence. It carries responsibility. It carries assignment. Many people pray for increase, more success, more resources, more recognition, but few stop to ask why. Why does God want to bless you? Psalm 67 answers that question clearly, so that others may see His goodness through your life. Your promotion is not just about a higher salary, it is about greater influence. Your education is not just about personal advancement, it is about expanded capacity to serve. Your talents are not just gifts to admire, they are tools to uplift others. When you understand that you are blessed to be a blessing, your mindset shifts from ownership to stewardship. A stewardship mindset transforms how you view success. Instead of asking, "How much can I gain?" you begin asking, "How much can I give?" That giving is not limited to money. You can give encouragement. You can give knowledge. You can give mentorship. You can give kindness. You can give opportunities. Some of the greatest blessings you will ever release into the world will cost you nothing but intention. A word spoken at the right time can change someone's entire direction. A small act of generosity can restore someone's faith in humanity. When you walk with the awareness that you are carrying blessing, you begin to see every interaction as an opportunity for impact. Education plays a powerful role in this principle. When you gain knowledge, you gain the ability to solve problems. But if that knowledge remains locked within you, its potential is limited. True growth multiplies when it is shared. A teacher who shares knowledge shapes generations. A leader who mentors others creates future leaders. A professional who trains colleagues strengthens an entire organization. The blessing of understanding becomes greater when it flows outward. What you know can unlock someone else's breakthrough. Being blessed to be a blessing also means developing compassion. It means remembering that your progress did not happen in isolation. Someone encouraged you. Someone prayed for you. Someone opened a door for you. Someone believed in you when you doubted yourself. When you recognize that your journey includes the fingerprints of others, gratitude replaces pride. You become more willing to extend the same grace that was extended to you. You stop seeing people as competition and start seeing them as community. This mindset protects your heart from selfish ambition. Ambition is not wrong. It becomes harmful only when it is disconnected from purpose. When you pursue success only for personal glory, it leaves you empty. But when you pursue success as a channel of blessing, fulfillment follows. There is deep satisfaction in knowing that your growth benefits more than just you. It benefits your family. It benefits your workplace. It benefits your community. It benefits people you may never even meet. Blessings also include intangible gifts, peace, wisdom, resilience, creativity. When you demonstrate peace in stressful situations, you bless others with stability. When you offer wise counsel, you bless others with clarity. When you remain resilient after setbacks, you bless others with hope. Sometimes the greatest testimony of God's goodness is not material wealth, but spiritual strength. Your calmness in chaos can inspire someone who feels overwhelmed. Your faith during uncertainty can encourage someone who feels discouraged. Living as a blessing requires intentional action. It is not automatic. You must look for opportunities to serve. You must ask yourself daily, who can I help today? Who can I encourage? Who can I support? Small, consistent acts create lasting impact. You do not need a large platform to make a difference. Influence begins wherever you are. In your home, you can create an atmosphere of love. In your school, you can create a culture of cooperation. In your workplace, you can model integrity and excellence. Blessing is not about size. It is about sincerity. There is also a ripple effect to living this way. When you bless others, you inspire them to do the same. Generosity multiplies, kindness spreads, encouragement reproduces itself. One act of goodness can spark a chain reaction that extends far beyond your original intention. This is how communities are strengthened and environments are transformed. It begins with one person deciding to live beyond self-interest. At times, being a blessing may require sacrifice. It may cost time, comfort, or convenience. But sacrifice connected to purpose produces reward beyond measure. When you give, you do not become depleted. You become expanded. The more you pour out love, wisdom, and generosity, the more capacity you develop. It may seem counterintuitive, but blessing others often increases your own joy. Fulfillment flows from contribution. It is important to remember that you cannot pour from an empty vessel. Staying connected to God ensures that you remain spiritually filled. As you continue to seek His presence, He renews your strength and refreshes your spirit. That renewal empowers you to continue giving without burnout. The source of your blessing is not your own energy. It is God's grace working through you. When you adopt this perspective, comparison loses its power. You stop measuring your journey against others because you understand that each person has a unique assignment. Instead of competing for limited recognition, you focus on fulfilling your specific calling. Your goal is not to outshine someone else, but to shine faithfully where you are placed. In doing so, you contribute to a greater collective purpose. Ultimately, being blessed to be a blessing reflects the heart of God. He gives generously. He loves abundantly. He restores faithfully. When your life mirrors that generosity, you become a living testimony of His goodness. People may not read Scripture, but they will read your actions. They will observe your integrity, your kindness, your compassion. Through you, they encounter hope. As you move forward, carry this truth deeply within you. Every gift you possess is an opportunity to uplift someone else. Every resource you gain is a tool for impact. Every door that opens for you is an invitation to hold it open for another. When you live this way, success becomes meaningful, growth becomes purposeful, and blessings become transformative. And as you continually allow what God pours into you to flow outward, you will discover that the more you bless others, the more richly your own life is filled with joy, purpose, and lasting significance.